It's happening, but to have Steven officially signed, what does that mean for the club?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, obviously we were always looking to kind of add a piece. Losing that, and we ended up adding two. So we felt we needed to address kind of the short term and also the long term in terms of having a young player that's really athletic and talented, and a player that we can kind of develop and grow with, and he can grow with us. So that was kind of the thought behind it. We know Steven Taylor, when he gets fit, he'll be a plug and play. You put him in and he'll be ready. His experiences speak for themselves, and we need experience at this stage in the season. We need leadership at this stage of the season, especially losing a guy like Nat, and with Ridgie being out as well. We think he'll be back in, and hopefully both of them are back in. But right now, neither of them are in.
How do they maybe complement each other if they're back in having a partnership with Ridgewell and Taylor?
Well, I think they're similar in some ways in that they're both vocal. They're organizers. That's great. We know Reggie's that way, and it's great to have an organizer on both sides, because when the ball comes down the right, the central defender on that side needs to organize, and when the ball comes down the left, Reggie needs to organize. So it's nice to have two voices, two leaders, two guys that are experienced at the highest level in this game. So they're similar in that regard. They're similar in that they're both good on the ball as well. And I think they're similar in that they both read the game. I think they're slightly different in just the way they play. I mean, Taylor's a little bit more of a rugged, tenacious ball-winning. Not that Ridgie isn't, but Reggie's more of a positional player that reads it. And Taylor's more of a guy that's going to throw his body about and put his face into things. And it's probably why he's had a few injuries. Because that's the way he plays. He plays, balls to the wall. So. That's the way we want our central defenders to play, or at least one of them. He's more of a hammer, and so I think it's a good combination, because they're similar in some ways. They're focused, smart, intelligent defenders, good on the ball, but you got one guy that's a little bit more of a reader of the game, and one guy that's a little bit more of a hammer.
How long is he kind of out there? How long is it going to be, you think, until he's going to be able to play?
Yeah, good thing is he's healthy. He played that last game of the year versus Tottenham. Had a really good game. Yeah, it was important for us to see, because he was coming off an injury. But the great thing is he was back in, and he played a couple games at the end of the year, and so he's healthy, but he's not fit. It's going to take him a couple weeks to get fit. So we'll just have to build him up. Obviously, he makes progress every day, but he's nowhere near being 90 minutes ready. And with a central defender, you need him to be 90 minutes, because you're not looking to burn one of your 3 subs on a central defender. That's not ideal to take a guy out of the game, in the last 30 minutes or 20 minutes.
Obviously, he and Liam go way back. Did you chat with Liam about him, and how important was that?
Yeah, we chatted about him. Wasn't really an important factor. I think it was a bonus, that they knew each other, and they really hadn't, since the youth national team, stayed in touch much. But obviously you play against each other, you see each other, and there was a relationship from back. But it wasn't like they were mates hanging out all the time. So, but there was respect. I think that is important. It's important that there's trust and respect, and I think there's definitely trust and respect between the two of them.
With the other player coming in, Gbenga,
Bengo, yep.
Can you talk a little bit what you see in him, and whether he's what do you kind of think of his development here, in terms of how long do you think that's a player a few years down the road that could be in here, or a player that has a lot of talent right now that could make a more short-term impact?
Yeah, no, I think he's ready to play now. So when I say we're looking to address more of the long term, doesn't mean that he won't be ready to play now. But it just means that he's young, he's 23, and we do think he has some areas of his game that will need improvement. But he's an athletic profile, and he's young, and he needs a little bit of work tactically, but he's already been playing as a professional, so he's not unproven, even though he's young. He's played in some good leagues, and he just got his first call up to Nigeria this year. So he's on the up, and he made a move to Turkey, and that didn't work out. Wasn't getting paid. so he had to leave there. So you know, it was been a bit of a stop-start the last couple of years, but he's a really talented, athletic, up-and-coming defender that if we need to play now, he'll be ready, but he also will need some work in some areas as well.